You will often hear there are three different origins of the universe theory in Hinduism. The first is Hiranyagarva. Hiranyagarva Samavartatagre Bhutashiyataha Prithivin Putrika Asit. Many of you have heard. So there was a golden womb before the creation of everything, and the golden womb burst. And from which earth, sun, and all these star systems, everything got created. Very, very directly written in Rig Vedas. Is that the true origin of the universe? Or there are other theories like universe was born out of singularity, nothing that is in a point, undefined point. So I've created a video especially on that. It's called Bindu. So from the Bindu, the universe got created, and there are three types of Bindus: Mahabindu, Parabindu, and Shunya Bindu. So I have a separate video. You can look into it. Now, from undefinedness, universe could be born, or the universe could be a cyclic universe breeding of Brahma. What is that? That is, Mahapralaya. You have seen the Vishnu's Ananta Sajja. Vishnu is lying down for millions and millions of years. So what happens is universe is made of sattva, raja, tama, three gunas. And if you consider a circle, on the perimeter of the circle, there are three circles more. One is sattva, one is raja, one is tama, and they are continuously vibrating. And that is kind of a constituent of the universe. So the most fundamental element that you can think of is made of this gunas or properties. So, so in this way, every single force, mass, that means non-physical, physical reality, and not only the spatio-temporal dynamics of the universe, non-physical reality, just like Sankhya philosophy argued, geometric shapes and integers and prime numbers or Daivik numbers, all of them interacted together to create the universe. So whatever be the different hypotheses, whatever be the argumentative nature, we could say that before the creation of everything, there was another creation. So aeon after aeon after aeon, and one day after Brahma is till about 22 years. So that's kind of timeline. So Brahma breathes. Sṛṣṭi, Sthiti, Pralaya. Purak, Kumbhak, Rechak. So in this way, when these oscillations along the circle, these three oscillations of Sattva, Raja, Tama, Guna continuously oscillate. One is dominating, so we call Sattik. One is Tama is dominating, we call it Tamasic. Raja is dominating, we call Rajasic. So what happens when when every single part, entropy is increasing, the law of thermodynamics we study in physics. But for Hindus, it's not the law of thermodynamics. There is a different law. And what is that? That is this Sattva-Rajatama Guna or Tanmatra, different 23 different kind of Tanmatras or elements are there by composition of this kind of cyclic rhythms. Because you have to understand that there is one fundamental property of the universe, that is Rita. That is, every single thing is trying to come back to the initial point, but it cannot. But so it goes on a spiral or a Bortulakar path or helical pathways. That's why helix are there everywhere, from DNA to microtubule to protein to galaxies. So everywhere you will find that one. So that's why people came up with the proposal that helicity or cyclicity is there, and always time is finite. So time is in the Western world, time is linear, past, present, future. But for Hindus, there is no past, present, future. That is cyclic. So it means that we say Kala Chakra. So if the circle is bigger, smaller, different sizes, so that means clocks are of different sizes, and then we integrate them together and create an architecture of clock. That is the Kala Chakra, and that is how we represent different gods. So now when you know these basic elements and basic constructions, now you come to understand the universe, the breathing of Brahma. So you can understand that Brahma's one day comes on, kalpa after kalpa after kalpa after kalpa, new kalpas go on, and the universe, there is a residue of the universe, and that is carried forward to the next universe. So what is that? That is Rajaguna. So imagine the circle is there, but Sattva-guna, that circle disintegrates. Tamaguna, the bonding property, disintegrates. Sattva-guna means looking at the future, projection to the infinity, and then getting feedback from infinity. That is Sattva-guna. So that is 14th century Vijnana Bhikshu started this particular very, very scientifically argumentative way of representing the Sattva Guna, Tamaguna, and Rajagunas. So, the clock. Wherever you go, anywhere you start getting inside, you will find clocks. And you take one clock, you go inside, you find another clock. So you get fractal architecture of clocks. So this Kala Chakra based architecture is the spatiotemporal dynamics, is the Maya. Now, when continuously as the time passes by, we can't say in Hinduism, right? We say when time is going through this kalpa, this yuga, and this laya. So when a Hindu does worship in the home, we say they identify what is the day today of this kalpa, of that triti, of this yuga, and we are doing this puja. So something like this. So when we do this nested cycle, so that's why I say that by mistake I said when time flows, time doesn't flow. It has to come back nearly to the initial point, almost like geometric phase concept you study in quantum mechanics. So now slowly what happens, this Sattva-guna and Tamaguna goes out. So what you are left with? Rajaguna. Now only Rajaguna, only one cycle. When the universe gets totally filled up, the tanmatras, the constituent clock architectures, and the composite clock architectures which come together and break symmetry and construct the universe, when they all fall apart, we have individual discrete cycles. That is Mahapralaya. And during the Mahapralaya entire period, only Rajaguna survives. That is Vishnu's Ananta Satya. That is the time when Vishnu sleeps and he wakes up. So when he wakes up, slowly, the clocks start feeling, two clocks come together and starts feeling some bonding. And after this architecture forms, many after bonding, many elementary architectures form, they come together, self-assemble and grow. At one level, they can create fractal architectures. And then they can project information to the symmetry to the infinity and get the feedback. That is how Sattva-guna is born. So in this way, universe starts folding, and then it evolves. And then after one kalpa later, comes back to the initial phase, where Rajaguna all are left with each other. So Rajaguna then carries some of the qualities that they are maintained. Some of the symmetries are maintained. So what we understand, that universe could be born out of Hiranyagarva, the golden womb. The universe could be born from the point to singularity, absolute singularity, out of nothing. And Sankhya, the numbers and the other probabilities, the Purusha comes in, because Purusha is omnipresent. Purusha doesn't have to destroy, because it's number and geometric shapes. Who is going to kill and where are they born? They're not born or killed. They can explode. They can take the matter, the Maya, the Prakriti, to expand and learn about more and newer patterns and primes, and then evolve. And the alternative explanation, the third explanation is this Pralaya, and then sṛṣṭi is sṛṣṭi Pralaya, sṛṣṭi is sṛṣṭi Pralaya, sṛṣṭi is sṛṣṭi Pralaya, kalpa after kalpa, breathing of Brahma, the cyclic universe theory. Now the structure of the whole universe is Virāṭa Puruṣa. So you have heard Many people blame Hindus that you say you created casteism because from the head Brahmins got created, from the eyes they got created, from the thighs to the Kshatriyas got created, from the legs Sudras got created. They absolutely don't understand Hinduism, because in Hinduism, leg is the most important thing. In every puja, we say jala 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 prajala 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 mulasringatas chadda mulasringatas chadda sushumna pathena mahashiva pada. That means through the spinal cord, jala jala prajala, let's fire it up, the kundalini. It passes through the spinal cord and goes to the pons. Pons is the scientific name, and they call it mahashiva pada. So Shiva's leg, footstep, falls on the top of the spinal cord. And now science have discovered that that is the place where the brain stem cells are there. So pada is the most important thing where the consciousness is born. So Shiva's pada. So that's why Virāṭa Puruṣa's every single organ creates many different things. It is not caste system. It's absolute nonsense. Because different, as I said, to abuse Hinduism, the best way is to take a part of the hymn and then expand, because it's a whole rhythm. So 4 4 4 4 or 3 4 3 4 3 4 3 4 3 4 3 4. So this kind of architecture is there. So totally, when you come back to the cyclic and read it again, only then you get to know the total meaning of it. And that's why it's very easy to take something and then abuse. So the point is that the Virāṭa Puruṣa structure is there. That is the whole universe. It is alive. It is conscious. Then there is something inside, something inside, something inside, something inside, something inside. What haunted me from my childhood is that Virāṭa Puruṣa must be very lonely, He must be very lonely. However, I later discovered that by Hindu origin of universe, if it is a cyclic, then a part of Virāṭa Puruṣa is a bindu. It's a non-physical realm. So how much Virāṭa Puruṣa is alive, that's the question. Because following Hinduism, there are certain principles you can't break. And one of them is Rita, that is getting it back to the initial cycle. So the whole big architecture is a body, but it will be so far, its organs. Notice this. The organs and constituents of Virāṭa Puruṣa will be so less dense. Just like you go to the hard number, less number of primes. Similarly, when you construct Virāṭa Puruṣa, his bodies are so far that it is part of nothingness or singularity, and that's where the universe is born. So it means you can start from the circle, you can start moving complexity, but more the complexity, higher is the space. So the density goes decreasing. So density is less, it increases, and again it decreases. That's how the circle is complete. Always remember that all these 4 different perspectives of origin of the universe that I say are the same thing. Why do I say so? If you think universe is a point, then the whole circle, you put point anywhere, you can go and come back, right? So the point of cyclic universe and the pointed universe, jat pindate tat brahmande tat pindate. So the point universe begins and where it ends is also a point. So this argument is not contradictory. At the same time, the golden womb is never contradictory. How? Because it is said that all the rajagunas, when they are in the single state, they lit. How could they lit if it is not Hiraṇyagarbha? So it is Hiraṇyagarbha where the Vishnu sleeps. And that is why the sṛṣṭi Pralaya hypothesis of evolution of the universe is never contradictory to Hiraṇyagarbha. Hiraṇyagarbha is never contradictory to Virāṭa Puruṣa, because a part of Virāṭa Puruṣa, when it is distributed totally into nothingness, because high space and less number of particles. So density of particles or density of symmetry over large space is very less, and time is almost not flowing. It's static. So Vishnu's Ananta Satya is part of it. It's happening somewhere, and we are living in that. So that's why multiverse and other kind of concept you can bring in, but not necessary. So Virāṭa Puruṣa, golden and all this kind of thing. So there was a certain time at which it started, and then it goes into something. So that concept is always there, but Virāṭa Puruṣa is always alive. The golden from the golden where the light started, time never flowed, because light carries time, right? So in this way, all these different aspects of origin of universe come together to a single hypothesis, and that is Rita. That is, everything that begins will try to come back to the same point, and that is how the universe runs and runs. So please do like and subscribe our channel if you'd like to know more about the scholarly debatable perspective on different aspects of Hinduism. And you can write to me if you have some topic you want to discuss and want to study more, and want to get some debatable views or contradictory views that are over there, and some comment on it. Thank you very much.